There's Gordon.
Hey, Gordon, how are you?
Good morning. How are you both?
Good.
Fantastic. You got a haircut since the last time we saw you.
Oh, yes. Thank you. I look like the world's oldest sort of grad student. It was horrible. So.
No, it was fun.
No, you look like a very handsome gentleman. You don't look like an old, whatever you said. There's
you.
no such thing as the word old anymore.
Ancient?
No. Those words. No, listen, if the kids want to change all the words in the English language, us old bags are going to change the words old, ancient, dilapidated, all
to
that
young
stuff.
and gorgeous.
I'm going to be 82 in May, and I'm a very young 82. And there's no reason why you have to ever grow old unless
hold on,
sick, of course.
But
anyway, Gordon, you look sensational.
You look fantastic. I mean, I like the long hair, but I like the haircut too.
You're still a handsome guy. Cut the crap. You know what? You have a mirror.
There you go. Hey, Jack, how you doing? Let's make sure we can hear
and
you.
I bet you the James.
I'm good. Can you hear me?
Oh, absolutely.
Wait,
I also got my hair cut, and I'm a little offended that nobody noticed.
Look,
we haven't got to you yet, Four Eyes. So knock it off.
I'm like 8 eyes. 4 isn't enough.
We're talking to Gordon. Gordon, I bet you the broads still throw themselves at you.
Say again? I'm sorry.
I bet you women still throw themselves at you. Tell the truth now. Don't lie.
No, they don't.
Oh,
they
you're
don't.
Full of shit.
You're full of crap.
I know they do for Jack because I've seen it.
Yeah, all right. You down there. Take off the glasses.
He's got a gorgeous wife, though.
Women don't make passes.
Beth is absolutely beautiful.
Yes.
Women don't make passes at men that wear glasses, but that's not true. A lot of women love men with glasses. They think they're intellectuals. Is that why you're wearing glasses, so you get ladies to look at you?
Of course, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
Right.
But that sexy librarian thing.
Sexy librarian.
No, the best way to get women's attention is to walk around with your zipper open.
Oh, yeah.
No, really, women will look, and some of them will make a comment and say, "Sir, your zipper's open," and then you smile and say, "Did you enjoy it?" But anyway, I cannot supposed to talk about that stuff anymore.
You are a silver-tongued devil, I'm sure.
Yes,
you better believe it.
That's why everybody tunes in. They never know what he's going to say.
I did stand up. I'm in the business 64 years. I started at 19, and I did stand up for about 40. And I've never changed. My work became my personality. How about you guys? Do you believe who you were on Dynasty as who you are now?
I don't think that applies to any of us, really. No.
Betty Davis was Betty Davis. I knew Betty, and off camera, she was Betty Davis with a dirty mouth. That was the only difference. She loved the word fuck. I mean, that's all she ever said was fuck this one, fuck that one.
Oh my gosh. Hold on. Before we do this.
They're unfiltered and uncensored.
No, hang on though. Because the women really are having a heart attack. And I have we have a lot of my age women in the chat room in their 50s and they loved you guys then. They love you guys now.
In my age that still want a man.
But hang on, let me finish. They say because they're talking about how cute they are. So first of all, let's do a real introduction. All right, everybody. Now we want to welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell 2 of the 3 male stars of Dynasty and a million other things with their new show Cocktails with the Carringtons,
which is fabulous. We saw it.
Hang on, we have Mr. Gordon Thomson and Jack Coleman. Hello and welcome to the show.
Hello, thank you.
Very nice to be here. I'm not sure where John James is.
He said he was going to be here, and
John
he'll be here.
He's a good buddy. He'll be here. But anyway,
let me finish. No, because all the women want to say hello. So there's a lady in the chat room. Her name is Cindy Lady Lake, and she's been promoting this all over LinkedIn, Twitter, everywhere because she's a huge Dynasty fan.
God bless her.
A very good friend of the show. So I would like both of you guys just to say hi to Cindy Lady Lake because she'll totally get a charge out of it.
Hey, Cindy Lady Lake. Is that Lady Lake Music? Was that?
Yes, that's Lady Lake Music. Yes.
Are you a musician?
No, she promotes. She's a music promoter, and she promotes all kinds of artists in music. She lives in Florida, and she's been a friend of mine for ever since Twitter started. And there's John James. Hello.
Hey, John,
stealing my look.
Well,
with the glasses.
He's still a handsome.
At our age, it's no longer.
I'm sorry. I'm late. I was in hair and makeup.
Oh, so everybody, now we want to welcome the third of the Cocktails with the Carringtons.
Okay, now let me say something.
John James, hang on. John James.
You want to fucking roll tonight? What you do, coke or something? He's not shutting up. He's like a fucking parrot. Give me a break, mouthpiece. You're not exactly interesting.
Oh,
boy.
yeah.
Anyway, boys, Jimmy said we're going to Oscars to see you three do. And I said, what are they going to do each other? I mean, it's a gay place. They'd probably do better off if they did each other. What are these three clowns going to do? You got to be kidding me. They have a show. So I sat there in doubt. When it was over, I was clapping my hands off because they were fabulous. The three of you were funny, interesting, handsome, and you did a damn good show. And I would say to everybody out there, listen, if you want to see three hot guys kidding around and talking about poor Joan Collins, then watch their show. They're terrific.
Absolutely.
And I don't blow smoke up anybody's ass. If I didn't think you were good, I would avoid it.
Hang on, I'll do the little press.
I wouldn't. I have an old. My parents raised me. Nothing nice to say nothing at all. But I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I truly enjoyed these three guys clowning around. It was like hanging out with the boys.
So I want to say this a couple of times so everybody hears it many times as we're talking to you guys. So the name of the show is Cocktails with the Carringtons. If you're in California, they've got 4 shows coming up, 4/15 and 4/16 at the Los Angeles Marriott Burbank Airport Hotel, and on the 17th and 18th at the Roosevelt Hotel Theater. You can get tickets by going to cocktailswiththecarringtons.com, and you'll see these three guys talking about their days on Dynasty when it was like the #1 show in the entire world, and it is like fabulous. And John, real quick, say hi to Cindy Lady Lake.
Hello, Cindy.
There you go.
Hey, John, how's your daughter?
My daughter is wonderful. Thank you, Ron.
How'd that movie go? We saw a wonderful movie that his daughter was in. Remember that night?
He's in it too.
And you're in it. Well,
it went very well. Well, that's where we met. We met at the
yes, but you have a very beautiful, tall daughter.
Yes,
and
thank
she's
you.
stunningly beautiful. Is she
She won America's Next Top Model a few years back.
And is she working now, making a lot of films and stuff?
Well, she was pretty heavy reoccurring on SWAT, a series. Playing.
I've seen her on. I always watch SWAT. I watch it all the time.
She was such a nice girl, but you're a nice.
And she's
guy.
gorgeous.
The apple doesn't really fall far from the tree.
Well, thank you. That's very sweet.
No, it's true. You're a nice guy. I interviewed you. This is my 4th time interviewing you. I feel like we're lovers. I want alimony. Joan Collins. I have to get to it because everybody's waiting. In there's a gay bar on Long Island called Pal Joey's. We used to go to every Wednesday night to watch Dynasty. But the queens, of course, were not happy with Dynasty, so they called it Virginasty. And the reason why it was called Virginasty was because of Linda Evans and Joan Collins both being, I can't use the word, but it begins with a C and it ends with a T. And there's a U in the middle with an N.
Connecticut?
If you know
Connecticut. There you go.
Connecticut. Now, I met Joan Collins with my friend Perry Winkler, who's Lee Winkler's wife. Lee Winkler of Global, if you know who I'm talking about, the biggest management company back then in California, in Los Angeles. And I turned to Joan and I said, Joan, you absolutely look magnificent on film and you're beautiful in person. And the clothes that you wear are just breathtaking. And she looked at me. She said, yes, I know, dear. And then she turned away. And my friend Perry looked at me. She said, well, that was a big opening. I said, well, I expected a little more out of it. I think it was very complimentary. But
flattery will get you nowhere.
Not with Joan Collins. She's a Gemini like me with an unfiltered mouth. Joan says what she wants whenever she feels like it. And I appreciated her honesty. Her honesty was, listen, jerk, who the hell do you think you are wasting a minute of my time when I've got millions of people kissing my ass at this party? And they were all kissing. I mean, the fags were jumping all over. Oh, Miss Collins, oh! You think she was Jesus Christ in a dress. But anyway, Joan Collins, I like a lot. I think she's a feisty broad. What was she like to work with, boys?
A pleasure.
Jack?
Yeah, she was great. I don't think any one of us had any issues with Joan whatsoever. I had some of my favorite scenes were with her. She was a consummate professional. She knew her lines. She was on time. She, and you had to hold your ground when you were in a scene with her.
Oh, yeah. Well, you had to know your stuff. I know. Well, you guys do, too. I mean, if you had a scene coming up the next couple of days, you're right, Jack. You had to be on point.
That's what you get paid for. You don't get paid.
Yeah. Well, I mean, generally. With Joan,
I remember the press because that's my business, of course. But back then the press was not very kind to her. They said Joan Collins taking this fit on the set and Joan Collins doing that. And John James upset. They always used all your names and bullshit to make a war. But they did this. Jane Russell was my best friend buddy. I took her name. That's how much I loved her. We hung out for years together. And Jane Russell said to me, when she did Gentlemen for Blondes with Marilyn Monroe, the press made it out where they hated each other. They fought with each other every day. And it wasn't true. Jane was like a big sister to Marilyn. So now you cleared the air about Joan Collins, that she was not a bitch on the set.
No,
I love it. I love her. I
met Linda Evans at a convention, and Linda Evans is absolutely delightful and charming and sweet and kind. And I said, would you come on my show? She said, get me an airline ticket and I'll fly down from, I think she lives in Washington State, and I'll come on your show. I said, you don't have to. You could Skype in. What was Linda like, boys?
Like the sun coming up, truly.
She was a sweetie pie when I spent a lot of time. I sat my ass down next. I was bullshitting with her like she was my best friend, and she was really very sweet. Very nice.
My gosh! If you guys see this, the comments in the chat room, everybody said, "How about if we do this so everybody gets to hear you talk?" Because they're like, "Oh my god, I love their voices. They are all still so sexy and everything." Each one of you,
well, shut the fuck up, you two.
Each one of you.
No, listen. I warm it up for you, son of a.
Hang on, wait.
Run with it.
Each one of you guys, tell everybody, like, take time, just talk for a second. Tell them who you played in the show, and tell them some kind of little tip.
You really you want the show to be a success. Tell them who has the biggest wang.
Oh no.
That's it. Whoever has the biggest.
That gets settled in the Q&A.
Okay, because that'll put us right over the top.
Yeah, we don't want to give that away here. We'll do that.
We need to move the first.
You guys have to go to their show. You got to buy tickets to go to their show
to find out, folks.
But no, you guys tell everybody who you are, like who you were on the show, so they can hear you talk a little bit. Start with you,
Sure.
John.
All right, my name is John James, and I created Jeff Colby, and I started on the show when it was a pilot called Oil, and starring George Papard. George was recast, and John Forsythe came in. So I spent almost a full 9 years with the show, 230 hours, and then I did 2 years with the Colbys when they spun me off in 1985, 86. I'm sorry, 86, 87, and then I came back to Dynasty. But yeah, I mean, I'm just so excited that we're doing this. I think that maybe we're on the leading edge of a trend where maybe the nightclub scene is going to be coming back, where people want.
I wish.
I mean, you know what I mean, Ron? A more intimate kind of a deal, and they get to meet people. And also, we sing. We've added another song, guys, which is
Oh, that's good.
Well, John, listen what I'm going to do. We have a wonderful nightclub in Palm Springs called the Purple Room. Everybody, Kazan, everybody plays there. It's a lovely nightclub room. We know the owners. I'm going to suggest to them that they book you at the Purple Room, because I think it's no gay town. You're going to have the place packed.
All the women are loving it. Okay, hold on. Let's go. Gordon.
The gay guys will come to see these three hunks.
So, Gordon, go back. It's your turn.
Oh, okay. My name is Gordon Thomson, and I had the enormous pleasure of playing Adam Carrington, just about the nastiest individual on prime time. And
it was awesome.
It was a pleasure to play. It was the best part for a guy on the show. And I worked a great deal with Joan, which, as Jack and JJ have already ascertained, she was a pleasure to work with. And it was like, I don't know what the right metaphor is, but she was a real joy to work with. And Alexis's armor is what gave the press and the public the impression that she was a bitch. She's not. She, as I think Ron said, it forthright, certainly, but not a bitch. She's an actor, first and foremost. She likes the word actress. Okay.
The old days, they do.
That's what she is and always has been since she went to RADA in 1950 or some damn thing. And she just to this day the idea of retirement is abhorrent to her. She hates the word and won't count it.
So do I, and so should you.
I'm not going to retire. I'm going to die, for Christ's sake.
I'm going to die on a set.
All right, so
and the show, sorry, Cocktails with the Carringtons was actually put together. It was JJ's brainwave, and he contacted Jack and me, and we thought, God, yes. And with the help of a brilliant musician named Nick Marzak, who with Jack wrote the introductory song, which you guys saw and heard, and the new one, which is, it's going to have the audience singing along, I believe. Really.
The first one was fantastic. When we saw the first one, it was fantastic.
I think the highest rating Dynasty ever got was when Joan and Linda were beating each other up. I think you got like trillions and zillions of no, I mean really. And I believe Joan
Collins, very popular.
Joan Collins made that show what it was. Before she came on, it was a good show. You all did a great job. But when she came on,
she wasn't on from the beginning.
No, she came in with a gorgeous hat. I never forget it, in a courtroom, a beautiful hat with black and white, drop dead gorgeous woman, greasy lips, fabulous and sexy. What a bitch. She was such a bitch in that show that we couldn't wait to watch her be a bigger bitch. And all the queens would be yelling in the gay bars, go girl, go, 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 you bitch. Okay, I mean, it was a riot. Some of the audiences were better.
Well, you know, Ron, they didn't have the role cast at the end of the first 13 shows. So when you see that lady walking in with the hat, you don't
stunning, drop dead gorgeous.
They apparently they were talking to Sophia Loren, a number of different actresses, and I remember driving down Sunset Boulevard when they told me that they hired Joan Collins, and I wasn't quite sure who Joan was because Joan, she was
Red Velvet Swing. I know her for years.
Well, you know, and then I looked up, and there's a billboard with Joan in black leather with a whip.
Yeah. Bitches, her movie Bitches.
A bitch. And I went, oh, that's interesting.
Oh, mommy.
Mommy.
No, Sophia Loren would not have been good. In 1959, my first movie in my career was with Sophia Loren and Tab Hunter. So I got to know Sophia on the set. We shot in Long Beach, Long Island. And she was too sweet and too gentle to have played the part. No matter how they would have bitched her up, she never would have portrayed it as well as Joan.
Joan Collins was awesome.
Joan is just a snappy little bitch, and I adore her. I love watching her. She's still beautiful, even though she's a little older than I am.
We watched a movie the other day that she was on Tubi.
She's just a gorgeous woman. I mean, they say Elizabeth Taylor was beautiful. I think Joan Collins. I knew Elizabeth. Please, Elizabeth, your ghost shouldn't haunt me. But I think Joan Collins was far prettier.
I agree with you. I think Joan was prettier than Elizabeth Taylor.
Something about Joan, but they always compared them, you know. Elizabeth Taylor was being taught a lesson by the studio because she was a little bratty sometimes, and they threatened her with Joan Collins, her lookalike. And they did look alike. They could have been sisters. But I think Joan Collins was far more beautiful. Is still far more beautiful.
Go back to Jack,
she's
though.
A stunning,
it's Jack's
what is she,
turn.
in her 80s, middle 80s, something?
Yeah, I follow her on Instagram.
And she's stunning, you know. She's stunningly
88.
She has the energy of a teenager too.
And she's gorgeous, and she's really a gorgeous woman. Beautiful to look at still.
So
and she still has greasy lips.
So Jack, go. It's your turn. You gotta, because everybody wants to hear you.
Now I've forgotten the question.
You just
don't get smart. You're gonna knock you right in your ass. I'm a tough guinea from Brooklyn. Don't fuck with me, fella.
Energizer bunny over there. John very indiscreetly said that he created the role of Jeff Colby. I did not create the role of Stephen Carrington. Al Corley played the role before me and did it for I think a season, and then I came in.
Yeah, but you were the best at it. Get out of here. You were
well, I was there longer, so I had more.
Yeah, but you were really. You were believable.
First gay character in a primetime drama.
Really big deal. Right. A really big deal.
And you know what? I like you didn't play it faggy. If you would have been faggy and effeminate, I would have been nauseous. But you played it like a regular guy who just happened to like guys. That's how Jimmy and I are. We don't like faggots. Oh, I shouldn't say that. Half of my audience, those queens know what I'm talking about.
Wait, I think the email just came in. Yeah, you're canceled.
Yeah.
Those bitchy queens that think they're Joan Collins. You know those evil queens, those Tishy Marys. We smack their bitches around. No, I think, listen, gay is you like men. It doesn't mean you're a woman. So everybody out there, don't think because you're gay you want to be a woman. I take a shower, I look down at the boys, and I smile. I just lost.
It
my
says you were
ear.
Steven number 2, which I love. That's
No,
your.
that-
That's
how did
your.
you- Wait, I want to ask you, how did you feel about playing a gay guy when nobody in the history of theater has done theater? Yes, but not film.
Well, I mean, look, I was coming off a year of daytime. This Dynasty was ascending like a rocket, and there was absolutely zero, qualms about joining the show and playing this part. So it didn't bother me at all. I just wanted to I wanted to be a part of this, and there was me and about 400 other guys who looked exactly like me up for the part. So it was it was a long and arduous process, but I was thrilled to finally join.
No, you were a cute gay guy on
love
the
it.
show.
Oh, no, yeah, everybody loved you.
The gay guys liked you. They all thought you were a bottom on the show, but they liked you anyway.
I will say on the show, I may have, but not in real life.
You didn't come off as John James or Gordon, the tough,
Actually,
butch
they're all
guy.
talking about though how everybody wanted to
No,
marry you.
You were so cute as a gay guy. You were like a little adorable gay guy that all the gay men wanted to cuddle and huddle, and it was nice. And the girls, I wanted to save you, and they used to say like, bang me, I'll make you straight. That
You
kind
have
of
to do
mentality.
one more thing, you guys, too. So we have another a friend of the show who promotes all over the place. She's actually in Germany. She never misses the show. She's talking about how everybody in Germany wanted to marry all you guys. Her name is B. Claudia. B like a bumblebee. So just say hi to B. Claudia because she'll like love it forever. She'll tape it and play it over and over.
Oh, B.
Hi, B.
Big Claudia, greetings from
Claudia, our hearts.
I think she's
And
from-
they do sing, you guys,
she-
too.
She lives in
We
Berlin.
actually-
Denver clan. Denver
we
clan.
may or may not sing a song about Claudia as a
Yeah,
turn.
we should.
you
No,
go.
listen, I gotta do a little bragging about us. Not that the door has been opened. We're in every country in the world. We have over 5 million viewers, and we have over 1 million downloads.
No,
is it?
billion. We just broke a billion downloads.
1 billion downloads.
Oh, and she says she's dead.
So
Hey.
you're not on some shitty show,
I know that, guy.
I know.
We're gonna,
Ron,
That's why we're trying to be polite.
Oh, you don't have to be
no,
polite.
no. Our fans love it when it's raw and raunchy because we're guys together, like hanging out in the pool hall, drinking and smoking and pot or whatever. But anyway,
So hold on. I want to
be real.
I want to like do some bragging for you guys real quick. Besides being on the biggest TV show like in the history of the 80s, which I don't know how the ratings changed from now, but one of the biggest TV shows of all time, certainly for my lifetime, and I was a huge fan. Some of the other things you guys have seen them in. First of all, John James, we'll start with him because the movie we were talking about when he came on is called Accelerator, and
Right.
he's in it. His daughter's in it. It's fabulous.
It's a good film.
They're also soapies, As the World Turns. It's funny because we went to the screening of Illegal Aliens, All My Children, The Colbys. He even did a horror movie, Evil at the Door. I wrote it down, but I didn't look it up. So I don't know if it's come out yet. But so John's been doing all kinds of stuff. And we want to reiterate that they've got their show, Cocktails with the Carringtons, that eventually is probably going to go all around the country because it's fabulous. Then we have Gordon Thomson, you guys. He's also Young and the Restless soapy. We love the soapies because we're friends with all the ones that live here in
everybody.
Days of Our Lives, Sunset Beach, which was a fabulous show. He did some episodes of Beverly Hills 90210. He was in Poseidon, Little Miss Sunshine, Winterthorn. The Vanity is the only one I hadn't seen before, but since you did a bunch of episodes, I put it on there also.
Thank you. Good show too, actually.
And then we have Jack Coleman, who actually do you have an action figure from Heroes?
I do.
I have to go get that now because I
The
collect
only
action
action
figures.
figure that I have an action figure from Heroes, and it is headless because my dog bit its head off.
Oh, well, I'm going to go on eBay and get one. So you guys, he's got a show right now, Ordinary Joe, Castle, Heroes, Reborn, Burn Notice. I was on a bunch of episodes of that. Scandal, Vampire Diaries, Heroes, Kingdom Hospital. I lived in Miami, so anything shot in Miami, I'm in it.
Were you in the last season at all?
No, I was in like the very first season.
Friggin' extra for 2 seconds.
Hey, I was a featured extra. I got paid $300.
Wow. Did you put it in the bank? Do you still have it?
No, I don't have any of it. But anyway, you guys, these guys have been around doing lots of great things. You definitely want to see their show, Cocktails with the Carringtons. So, John, what made you come up with the idea? No, wait. What made you come up with the idea, to do this?
No, that's after. Let me get personal. Our fans want personal. They all love it when I ask personal. John, married, children, what's doing?
We know he has a daughter.
Married 30.
Get this right.
3 years.
Yeah, if you get that wrong, you're in
Oh,
trouble.
your ass is in trouble,
The
buddy.
gorgeous Denise. Denise is heaven on a
33
stick.
years in 14 days. It'll be 33 years.
Congratulations. Good for you.
My son is a Dolph Lundgren lookalike. He's 6'6".
Wow.
He's
Wow.
He was Air Force Special Operations Command air traffic controller, served for 10 years.
Good.
He's now an FAA controller. And of
Wow.
course, Laura is getting engaged to a young actor called John Michael Ecker, who is in Firefly Lane on Netflix.
Oh, that's a good show. We saw that.
Yeah, he played the tow truck guy.
Okay, cool.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And he's now on his way next Monday to shoot 10 episodes for a new series for Freestyle, which is Disney, for a new series. And
Good
he's
for
really
him.
wonderful.
Good.
Good
So
for
you did well in life. Career, family, marriage. Lucky you. Most don't. But anyway, Gordon, what's going on in your world? Girlfriend, boyfriend, sister, what do you got?
Celibate?
Well, you never
Single,
know with
and happily
actors,
so,
you know.
by the way.
Oh, celibate, single, and happily so.
Celibate and single.
We could probably change the celibate thing for you with like anybody in the chat room.
Well, you know.
Well, you guys were there in Palm Springs. He was mobbed after the
Yeah,
show.
I know.
Gordon, JJ and I had to fend them off.
That's
Yeah.
what made me think
They
he
were
won the
trampling
penis
us to get to
contest.
Gordon.
Yeah.
Gordon, you just opened the door. You're going to have women now chasing you if you're available and single. Would you ever marry? Have you ever been married?
I have a common law wife in Toronto who was probably the happiest relationship I've ever had.
Right.
But Maureen had a weight problem. Red carpets were not going to be for her. She was a wonderful actor. And we worked together for 16 years.
Oh, that's
but
nice.
then and anyway, that's it. Thank you very much.
So you have a best friend relationship. And how about you, gay boy?
Yeah.
This gay boy or
Hey,
that fake?
Steven.
No,
Did you
Stephen
say
fake,
gay
Carrington.
boy or gay boy?
fake gay boy. Fake
Oh,
gay boy.
okay.
Jack has a beautiful wife because I met her the
I
night
know,
in Palm Springs.
I
know,
do.
I know.
I'll have
She
been
is
married
beautiful.
26 years in June. We have a 22-year-old daughter named Tess who lives in Los Angeles. And,
Actress?
she's not. No, she's an amazing singer, but she's not singing. She is managing a salon in Silver Lake and also doing all their online content.
Okay,
cool.
good for her.
That's what my 22-year-old
Okay.
is up.
And as for me, married 16 years to a woman, divorced, 2 wonderful children. My daughter Leslie is a antique connoisseur, and my daughter Deirdre is a lawyer. She
Like a
teaches,
legal something.
she teaches
something legal.
lawyers what to do. But anyway, so
Wait, what kind of law?
What kind of role?
I don't even know. No law.
Law.
I don't know. She works for. We don't even know.
She does software that they don't know how to use, and she educates them on the new software that they can use to do whatever they do. But they're both beautiful. My daughter Leslie was first runner-up in Miss America, and she was Miss Long Island, Miss New York State, and Power's top model. And she's single,
Wow.
and I'm looking for a husband for her. So if she's a blue-eyed, green-eyed blonde Michelle Pfeiffer lookalike or Grace Kelly.
Wow.
Wow.
And Deirdre is a Rita Hayworth. We call her our Rita. She's in my upcoming movie that we're doing called The Gift of Magic. She plays Sean Kanan, his future wife.
So hold on, you guys too.
So anyway, we have a lot of films
and
that, we're going to call upon your guys because now we know you as friends. Jimmy's producing so many films. I'm in a film now soon in Las Vegas with, what's his name?
Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage and Keanu Reeves. So we name drop a lot because our audiences need that. They love it.
So hold on, go
So
back.
We do good films, and we're going to call upon you guys. I'm not bullshitting you either. You'll
Awesome.
see.
In the chat room, they want to know, like, how was it like working with Rock Hudson?
Oh, I loved him.
We do a big segment in our show actually
Oh,
about that. As
yeah.
you remember, guys.
I do know, but this is the fans in the chat room. So you got.
I knew Roy well, and he was the sweetest guy in the world. I was in McMillan and Wife.
So wait,
one
they
of the
can
episodes.
give them a little. You don't tell them what you're going to say in the show. Just say, yeah, it was cool, or just say something about it, just so people know.
Rock was very, very cool, lovely guy, fantastic, serene presence. He was, of course, he died the year that he was on Dynasty. So he was not well when he joined the show, but he couldn't have been more of a gentleman. I know that Heather worked with him a lot and absolutely adored him. But yeah, he was just a lovely presence around the set.
He loved to laugh. He was a practical joker. And when he saw you, he remembered who you were and all things about you. He wasn't a movie star. He was Roy Fitzgerald. You know, that's what he liked being called. He didn't like being Rock Hudson at all. But I knew him from McMillan and Wife. I was on that show, and I met him, and I almost dropped dead because he was 6'4", gorgeous. And when he spoke, that vibrating voice, I almost came. Anyway, I mean, what can I tell you? I mean, Rock Hudson was, you know, the man of men. And I always heard rumors that he was gay. But now, years later, he used to go to a gay bar in West Hollywood called the Rose Tattoo, or the V on Rose, the Rose Tattoo. And he'd be cruising in that bar, so you could sit down and gab with him.
So,
regular guy.
Ron, we talk about that in the show because during the 80s, I mean, now that's why I think people find our show interesting. You know, with Jack playing Steven and Rock being on the show, Rock had not come out as being gay until after the show.
Well, I have a story to tell you. We were shooting down on the dock at Universal. I believe it was the dock of, and there was a line he wasn't happy with. So he said to script, he said, could we change it a little bit? It's a bit effeminate. And I thought, red flag. You know, he really protected his image. He never did anything that was effeminate or made him look gay or unmanly. And some of the actresses, like Doris Day, who worked with him, she said, you never knew he was gay. He was a man, as manly as any man could be. And that's why I think he was so beautiful, because he was a soft, kind gay man looking like a tough straight man.
Just like you, Jack.
No, like all three of you. No, like
when you were playing gay. When you were playing gay.
No, he never played gay, Jimmy. He didn't play gay.
I know.
That's what I like.
No, I'm the mirror image. I'm the really tough guy underneath and who plays gay all the time on television.
Well, listen, Jimmy, listen, we've come a long way, we gay people. Jimmy and I are married now 10 years, as you can tell, happily married. And
always fighting on the show.
Yeah, well, people like, you know, they look and they write me fan mail. We love when you and Jimmy fight. You motherfucker. I'm going to kill you, Jimmy. You know, so there you, I just satisfied 3 million people. But
so you guys listen up for all you people who
who's a drinker in that crowd? Who likes to knock them back?
All of us.
All of us.
Right? So when you come to Palm Springs and you work in the Purple Room, we're going to have a couple of drinks together.
So you guys, good. Dynasty, you guys was John Forsythe, Linda Evans. This is some of the people. John Forsythe, Linda Evans, Joan Collins, Pamela Sue Martin, Heather Locklear, Diane Carroll, Emma Sams, Catherine Oxenberg. Obviously, these three guys, which for me as a kid growing up, not knowing that I was gay, for me, because I like older men, for me, John Forsythe is probably like next to Cary Grant, like, and Ron, like the three hottest people on the planet.
Married me. I'm much younger than he is.
John Forsythe is super hot, but like,
well, I had lunch with Heather up in Westlake. She was married to a rock guy.
Yeah,
a big rock star. And I was having lunch with my daughter at Westlake, and Heather was there with a kid, a little child, if I remember correctly. And my daughter and she began talking, and she sat down and joined us for lunch and was the sweetest girl in the world. That's Heather Locklear. Very beautiful in person. Yeah, just throw that name in. We drop names here. People love that. No, they really do. Well, you know what it is? We open the doors to the intimate Hollywood, and all of our fans love that because we bring them to where we go. Red carpets, events that we do, your show. You know what I mean? It's a very nice communication we have with our audience.
So I have to ask Jack a question because the chat room is going crazy, and this isn't a Dynasty question. They want to know, how was it working with Jeffrey Donovan, because you had very intense scenes in the last season of Burn Notice.
It's funny we had a Burn Notice crowd here. You must have a lot of fans in southern Florida or something.
We have we have over 5 million, my friend.
Yeah. I had a great time doing the show. I did the whole last season of it, and Jeffrey. My first episode, Jeffrey directed, and he was an absolutely fabulous director. And he's doing great now. He's in all kinds of stuff. He's in the new Law and Order.
Law and Order, yeah, the new Law and Order that just started last week.
Yeah, he was. I had a great time with him, and I really enjoyed his work as a director. He's a fantastic director.
So did you guys all get along when you first met on set, like when you first started working together?
Absolutely.
We all bonded over our hatred for John James.
Well, you know, I can
The rest
understand.
of us
Jealousy.
No, it was penis envy, and I can understand that.
No, Jack won. I think Gordon wins that one. Gordon won
It's
that
all
one.
the
That's
same
why
thing.
everybody was
As I
chasing.
said, that's all
Palm
settled in the
Springs.
Q&A. We back
Wait,
up the first couple
I
of
have
rows
to-
and then we let it out.
I have to say something for our audience. When you're an actor, you act. And when you're on set, you work. You can hate the person you're working with, but you can never show it because the camera will pick it up. So it's better to be friends with everybody on a set. When I'm on a set working, I talk to everybody. I'm friends with everybody. I'm liked by everybody, even the food people that give you that crappy food. And you know,
They get better food because they're on bigger productions.
no. So when you ask a question like, "Did you get along on the set?" The answer is you're being paid to, and you have to, right, boys?
Yeah, that's pretty
There's
much the
there's
case.
no
Luckily,
personality.
Generally, I mean,
We did get along. This whole tone of the set was set by John Forsythe. John was, and we talk about this in our show as well. John couldn't have been a better role model for a leader on a set. And he set the tone, the professionalism, attitude. And when you say the cast of Dynasty or the show of Dynasty, you see the people on screen. Dynasty was the crew, the writers, the producers, the directors, the makeup, the ward, the whole bunch. I don't know, what, 200 people or some damn thing? Who made that show? It's not just us.
Absolutely.
It's everybody involved.
Yeah. And I think also the detail that they put into it, Aaron had a certain look that he wanted for the show, which I think was very reminiscent to the Universal Studios pictures back in the 50s.
Totally, completely.
Very rich colors, very
Totally.
well lit. And I remember one day,
And the sets were beautiful.
well, this is going back to the day single camera, not like today where they have 3 or 4 video
Right.
cameras, single camera Panavision. And I remember one day we did 56 setups in a day, which is, for people who don't know, setup is they shoot this way, then they turn everything around, rewrite it, and shoot that way. That's 2 setups.
Over the shoulder, side view, a close up.
56 in one day. I mean,
a lot.
we just cranked on that set. And we were there all the time. During the winter, when the days were short, you'd leave before the sun comes up and you'd walk out of that studio
At night.
back into night.
But you know, John, the hype of being on that show gave you guys the energy to work. I know if I
You guys
was
were
on,
like Michael Jackson.
No, wait a minute. I'm speaking rudeness. If I was on Dynasty, I wouldn't complain about working 18 hours. I wouldn't complain about anything because it was a wonderful project to work on.
None of us did. I mean, it was like being shot out of a cannon, Ron.
Absolutely.
When the show, look, we talk about audience today. I think, what was our audience, Jack, on the
millions and millions?
It was like 60 million, but we got around 50
million.
million.
That's like
Yeah,
the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Bigger,
it was.
bigger.
Yeah.
And I think it's one of the top 10 rated as far as audience numbers shows. It's one of the top 10 in history.
I wish
I think
it would
the
be.
biggest
I
show on
wish it would.
television now is NCIS, and I think it gets 16 million.
I wish
Yeah,
they
so
would.
that's like
I wish
nothing
they
in
would.
comparison.
I wish
Mark
they would.
Harmon.
I wish
Which
they
one
would
is
bring.
that?
I wish they would bring Dynasty back. The
They did.
rerun.
Well, they
not the new one. It stank. It was horrible. But
Oh wait, what did you guys think
it
of it?
wasn't Dynasty. You know,
Gordon, what do you think of the new?
Here's where we cut to Gordon.
Here we
Okay,
go.
Gordon, tell us what you think of the new Dynasty.
It's an abomination, is what it is.
Absolutely.
Thank you. You know
New York
what?
Times quoted me, I'm proud to say.
Oh,
Because
good
it
for
is.
you.
It's a piece of crap. It's crap.
Absolutely.
You know what?
And Heather had a wonderful point to make. We all got together for MSM's long COVID fundraiser about, I don't know how many months ago. And I said how awful I thought the new Dynasty was. And she said, well, every generation deserves its Dynasty. And absolutely they do, but it should be at least as all the production values should be there. It wasn't. There was no glamour, no energy. The writing is appalling.
Crap.
It's just shit. Yeah, it's shit.
It was.
You know what?
You know what? Wait, let me say something, boys. In Italy, and I've lived there with my grandmother for a year because they sent me there to be straight. Meanwhile, the gay Italians were gorgeous. But anyway, opera, Madame Butterfly, will never be changed. If you try to duplicate it, you don't have Madame Butterfly. You have some piece of junk. The Italians know to leave well enough alone. Too bad the Americans don't. Writers out there stink today. Most of the writers, they write crap. People shitting on toilet bowls, wiping their ass. I can't believe I saw Julianne Moore doing that in a movie. It was appalling. I don't understand why they have to bring this sort of privacy into a film. It has nothing to do with the
We
story.
saw it last night too. We watched Eye of the Needle.
Yeah,
and, like,
Eye
the
of
guy's
the Needle,
pooping
and,
on.
and there's a guy pooping again. I mean, I'm really fed up with this.
Wait, Eye of the Needle from back in the 70s? Or?
No, Eye in the Needle, the new one with Helen Mirren. Oh, it's not new. It's like 4 years old.
I love Helen Mirren. I only want to kill myself to work with her. I love and adore Helen Mirren. That's an actress. That's a wonderful performer. But what they're doing today, the writers, you know, I get scripts all the time, believe it or not, because they want us to promote their movie. That's the only reason they give me scripts. I read them and I say, this is so pathetic. One was sent to me, Drag Queens from Outer Space. They wanted me to play the mother drag queen that comes to Earth because they ate all the men on that planet, and now they were going to eat the men on Earth. So I sent it to my dear friend Marcel Waltz, who has a hit movie out right now called Blind. And Marcel went hysterical. He said, Ron, we should really do it. As high camp and stupidity. I said, no, I won't be associated with that junk. I'm an actor. I'm not a freak. But anyway, you know what scripts you guys get. They're not the quality of Dynasty or any of our 30 years ago movies. Our movies were feel-good movies, romances. We loved it. 60 million people were in love with you guys. You know how difficult that is to do, to get the world to be in love with you? That had to be a nice feeling, boys. Tell me about that.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing, Ron. We asked that question to our audience in the show. What made Dynasty, especially in the Q&A this comes up, what makes Dynasty iconic? Why even today, after 40 years when it first went on the air, that television shows like The Goldbergs.
Quality, my dear, quality.
The Goldbergs just did an episode about Dynasty. This Is Us, NBC's series, just did a piece on Dynasty just last year. And for some reason, I don't know why, I mean, you know, shows like Star Trek, certainly, and 77 Sunset Strip, but and Dynasty is one of those shows, and being so close to it, it's hard for me to be objective why that is. I don't know.
Why is it? Because Dynasty, back in the days of narrow-minded thinking, brought out a lot of points that we have to. We're standing on the shoulders of you guys of Dynasty, because if it weren't for you bringing out certain points, we wouldn't be who we are today. Dynasty was ahead of its time. It was well done. It was the #1 soap opera in the world, and I call
Primetime television show.
No, I call it a soap opera because to me it was the most fabulous soap opera. I was such a fan of Dynasty that I would have killed John James to get on that movie, get on Dynasty.
John James, they think your voice is so sexy.
But wait a minute. I've interviewed John James 2 feet apart. John, take off the glasses. Show them the sexy eyes.
Oh yeah.
He's got the most bedroom eyes of an actor. When you talk to him and the way his lash is lower and his eyes are so dreamy, he's really still a handsome guy. Married, so girls, you're gonna just have to work with your vibrators. You're never gonna get them.
But Gordon, on the other hand, is single.
and a cutie, look at that smile.
I know you all have
Are
good
those
smiles.
teeth yours, Gordon? They're beautiful teeth.
I don't remember.
I think you guys are terrific. And you know, it shows in your show because your personalities all bloom together. And I saw a couple of moments where there was a bit of a hesitation. And I said to Jimmy, they're going to iron.
That was their first show,
I know. They're going to iron that out. But all in all, it went very quickly. I wasn't the least bit bored. I found it to be funny, sweet, charming, warm, loving, kind, friendly. I think your audience.
Interesting.
No, I think your audiences will feel you're their best friends and they're spending time with you. You really connect. Like I have a saying when I do this show, I tell a lot of our superstars, make believe you're in Brooklyn in my project apartment having coffee and Entenmann's crumb cake with me. And when our stars do that, our audiences love, like right now, this show is going to go all over the place because it's such a warm, friendly hangout show. And yours is the same. No, yours is the same.
Tell Ron and Jimmy, Jack and Gordon, what I said when I first called you. What was the most important thing about doing this venture?
Well, you said the most important thing was to make this a show, not just a boring like after screening.
Yeah, exactly.
The other thing is, when we first did it, we called it, somebody else named it for us, Our Dynasty Tales from the Set. But we changed it to Cocktails with the Carringtons, because that's really what it is. It's a dynasty party, which is what Gordon added, that which we love. It's supposed to be fun, and it becomes interactive at the end, and the idea is to exactly that, to hang out and feel like you're just sort of in the middle of a bullshit session.
I didn't know you two. I'd never met you two, but I'd met John before three or four times. So seeing John was like seeing an old friend. Suddenly, you guys became my friend, and I think the audience felt the same way. You really project hanging out with the boys, and I love that about your show.
Thank you.
That's what we need today. We need camaraderie. We need togetherness. We need to appreciate one another's talents, and you certainly do a good job of it. I can't praise it more. And I'm not bullshitting you. I mean, people, go see this show. You're going to agree with me.
Absolutely.
I mean, I've been to a couple of. I was once a movie star show, where they talk about who they were and whatever. And I wanted to say, please get a life. It's over, baby.
It's over, baby.
It's over,
it's
baby.
Over, baby. Dream on. I don't want to mention who, but she was a woman and a friend of mine. And I told her after the show, when I went in the green room, I said, "What the fuck was that all about? Was it, what are you looking for? Oh, you're looking for work? Oh, I mean, she could take it. She had a filthier mouth than me. I said, "You're looking for work?" I mean, it was like a commercial.
So hold on.
Said,
okay.
What should I change about it?
So you guys
Wait a minute. I speak. You're so fucking rude. Didn't your mother teach you not to interrupt?
I never.
Anyway, now you made me lose my train of thought. There was a good point I was bringing out. Oh, wait, forget it.
That's okay. First of all,
he steps on my lines all the time.
They want to know in the chat room how come. First of all, John James, you
Go
guys
see the show.
John James is on Instagram, you guys. He's at John James _JJ. Jack Coleman is at the Jack Coleman. And Gordon is not on Instagram, and they all want to know how come you're not.
Because he's smart.
Because I loathe this whole digital world. I hate it. Frankly, I would take this computer and put it on the road and run my car over it.
I would also.
You and Ron.
I hate the world of today. I like answering service.
So you guys, they also have.
Gordon would put his computer on the road and run his horse and buggy right over.
Yes.
On the way to
I'm writing letters,
a
piece of parchment, and a quill, and I'm happy.
You see, folks, this is what you get if you go see their show. It's a laugh a minute. These guys are funny. They're warm. They're loving. I can't talk about this show enough, and I'm not doing it to be a liar, because if I thought it was like a piece of shit like my friend's show, I would just say, go see their show and let me know what you think.
No, you guys are gonna love this.
It's a good show.
Again, you go to cocktailswiththecarringtons.com. That's where you get your tickets. They've got shows April 15th, 16th, 17th, and 18th in the Los Angeles area. Do all you guys live in Los Angeles someplace? You don't have to tell us where.
JJ.
I'm here in Nashville. I moved from New York about 3 years ago.
How do you like how many people are moving to Nashville?
Yeah, a lot of people are going to Memphis
too. They're all leaving. Yeah, LA. They're going to Atlanta.
Crazy guys. How do I like it? I love it. Nashville's a cool town. There's a lot.
It's not hicky. Not hicky.
No.
Like full of hicks, because you're coming from LA, a swift town.
Nashville is becoming very cosmo. I mean, Justin Timberlake, I was telling Jack the other night, he opened a club that's very reminiscent. It's a supper club. Almost
I love
like
that.
Rainbow Room, where it's
remember the Rainbow Room?
Suit and tie, and it's upstairs, and below he's got his bar, honky tonk. But what I like about Nashville is the weather, because New York, I got sick and tired of the cold weather, the snow, and it's much milder here. Also, I'm in the center of the country, so it's 3 hours and 15 minutes to LA and 2 hours and 15 minutes to New York by plane. Right. So
and Tennessee has a great film tax credit for movies.
And how's the real estate there? Like here, $1 million for a slum?
It's gone up incredibly because there's nothing for sale. But 2 years ago, you would have gotten a deal.
Right.
But you're right. I mean, I was talking to an agent the other day. I'm not going to mention his name, but pretty big actor. Just left Los Angeles here for Tennessee from Nashville.
Yeah, it's good. I've got a couple
We
of
know
films
a
we're going to shoot
lot
in
of
Memphis.
people who move in Atlanta because Atlanta is the new
Yeah.
Hollywood.
There's
Hollywood's
so much
finished.
production in the Southeast now, especially Atlanta, but all over.
Yeah. Well, we're considering. I'm from Long Island, Brooklyn originally. I lived on Long Island most of my life, and I love the Hamptons, and I used to live there. And where Jimmy and I are thinking in about 18 months of moving back to the Hamptons because we never work.
Well, you know, let me just tell you my quick story about the Hamptons. I was dating a girl back when I was at the American Academy of Dramatic Arts, Julie Ridley, and her aunt was Robin Duke of the Duke Tobacco, and they lived on Gin Lane.
Yeah.
Remember, you know Gin Lane?
I know of it.
We used to go to the Southampton Bathing Corporation.
That's a long time ago, honey.
And I remember one day I was with Biddle, their son, and Truman Capote was sitting on the beach in a beach chair with his hat. And I remember looking at him saying, "That's Truman Capote." And he went,
"Yeah.
Oh, that's what we could do."
Right?
I love the Hamptons is, I think, one of the most beautiful places.
Well, now it's gotten really where you can afford it, but we're looking in Bridgehampton. You could still get into Bridgehampton for about $700,000 or $800,000, a little teeny house that I call a foyer. Then I intend to extend it. So we're going to buy this little house for $800,000, which is a joke, and then build a house behind, to it.
Yeah.
So that's what you're doing. But then it's going to be worth $3 or $4 million. So when I drop dead, Jimmy and my kids will have some money. Hey, 82
sounds like
old.
a bounty.
Yeah.
Well, I'm 82. I intend to live to be 92 at least and working. So
I hope so.
I agree with Joan. And a lot of my, I'm in a movie right now coming up with Ruta Lee. You know Ruta Lee, of course.
Yeah.
She's like 90
doll.
something.
She's 150, looking gorgeous. And Ruta said the same thing. I'm working till I drop dead. All of my old contemporaries, the only one that was Jane Russell. I used to say to Jane, "Why don't you make a movie? You're still beautiful." "I can't remember lines, Ron." That's what she'd say.
Yeah.
I'd say now they have earplugs.
That's not a minor inconvenience.
No, but now
not at all.
Look at what's his name, the famous actor. He doesn't like
Bruce Willis.
No, he can't help it because he's fucked. But I'm talking about what's his name, Johnny Depp. He doesn't like to learn lines. It's boring. It annoys him. So he wears an earplug.
Yeah, everybody wears it. A lot of people wear earplugs. Do you guys have no problem remembering lines?
Yeah, I was going to ask you that.
Much more problems than I used to have.
Yeah.
More problems than I used to have, for sure.
Do I have trouble remembering what?
Yeah.
Questions. You have trouble remembering questions.
No,
thank you.
We had dinner. We had dinner with Sean Kanan and his wife Michelle a couple of weeks ago. Sean's new book is The Cobra.
Way of the Cobra.
Way of the Cobra is out. We went to the reading and dinner, and I spoke with Sean about lines because he's in the movie I'm in, and I play his father. And I said, I'm going to have to wear a plug because I can't really remember. I mean, I've got speeches. So Sean said, "I just finished 40 pages." I said, "What? You had to learn 40 pages?" He
like
said,
one
"Yeah."
day.
He said, "In a day," because it was all rewrites. I said, "I would drop dead. I could anybody out? Could you guys do 40 pages?
I bet
in
you
a
I
day?"
can.
I did. We didn't talk about it, but I was in Belgrade, Serbia, shooting a movie last November, and November. And I had a 15-page two-hander, mostly me, scene in the back of an SUV.
Oh, that's a lot of work.
And you know what else too, Ron? Which is different today, guys, just technically speaking. Back in the old days, when you're running film and you have 1,000-foot mags in the camera, that's expensive. All right. So you rehearsed the scene.
Yeah, thank you. Hello. Yeah, great.
You actually remember, guys? We would rehearse.
I remember rehearsal. Not anymore.
We'd have a director's rehearsal on Dynasty and anything else before we got into the digital age with the director. Then the DP would walk in and he'd look at the scene. Then we'd have a camera rehearsal.
Yes.
Remember?
I remember. Like, how about? Wait, you forgot table readings.
Yeah, well, we didn't do table reads, did we, guys?
No, we did not.
No, we didn't.
We didn't have time. We didn't have time to. So
I go back.
Like they punch you in and they go, "Okay, let's roll," and they start rolling.
Yeah, that's it.
I go back further than you guys. I started in 1959, and back in 1959, you had an audition, number one, number two, a table reading, number three, a rehearsal, and all the other rehearsals. You're talking about lighting. You had to be lit right. You stood there for an hour. I didn't have an understudy. I was a nobody. So I had to stand there like a moron for hours while they lit me. And then you had a sound check, and then they had oh my God. You shot 3 lines and it took a whole day.
Now he did a movie and they didn't even tell him where to go.
Oh, that's the best. No, I love it. No,
let me
wait,
tell
wait.
you my most terrifying experience acting in the last couple of decades. About 5 years ago, I did a pilot called Salvation, and we shot in T.D. Jakes Church down in Dallas, 8,000 seat church. And I was playing a televangelist, and I had a 3-page monologue.
Woo!
And we went up there in front of almost 3,000 people. I went up there and we had no rehearsal because the director did not want them to hear anything until we were shooting, because they were encouraged to hoot and holler and clap and it was like a like a real televangelist kind of thing. And I almost threw up right before shooting. It was 3 pages with a gigantic audience. We had 12 cameras, including the cameras that the church uses.
Oh my God, Jack!
And it was just like, go. And it was out of the blue, and it was absolutely terrifying. And then at the end,
But you did it. But you
clapping
did it.
and cheering and shouting. I was like, oh, this is a very dangerous business. You could really lose yourself in this business.
Well,
Like,
I'm on the.
to, I think I can walk on water. And
Well,
it's very
Listen, I was retired for a while. Jimmy kept saying, you got to do film. You got to do film. You're a good actor. I listened to them. I figured, okay, I'll do a good actor. So I have my first movie that it's a horror movie. And I said to the director, so where's the camera? He said, up in the corner. I said, what do you mean up in the corner? He said, up there. See that little thing? That's a camera. I said, what do you mean that's a camera? That's like a security camera. He said, no. He said, that's our camera. I said, okay, where are my marks? He said, we don't have marks. I said, oh, we don't have marks. So what do I do? Just walk around playing with myself? He said, no. He said, you go over to the window, you pull the curtain back, then you look, and then you go and open the door and you deliver your first line. I said, well, what about lighting? What's my key light? What's that? I said, okay, what are we doing here? This is like a home movie. Anyway, the film looks like a home movie, and it's a piece of crap. And it's because these guys today have lost their professional. You guys know. I don't have to tell you what they do.
They don't do too many of those shitty ones like we do.
Oh, but I mean, this was a night. No, it was a nightmare for me. I really felt like lost in space. I said, this is not professional. I don't even know what. And the director, I said, what do you want me to do? He said, let's see what you can do. I said, what do you mean, let's see what we can do? What do you want? You want me to be real Brooklyn heavy where nobody understands me? Like, hey, you guys over there, don't do this to me. You know what I'm saying? Or do you want me half of Brooklyn? Anyway.
So anyway, we have to go back
because
we're running out of time. So here's what
I
want
want
to do.
more time with these guys. They're going to come back.
So listen up, you guys. First of all, it's super important. We want to sell out 4 shows here. So if you're in Los Angeles, you want to go April 15th, 16th, 17th, and 18th, 2 different venues: Los Angeles Marriott Burbank Airport Hotel or the Roosevelt Hotel Theater, which is absolutely gorgeous.
Wait, how much is it?
It's called Cocktails with the Carringtons. You go to cocktailswiththecarringtons.com to get tickets, and probably they have different ticket prices depending on what you do. So go to cocktailswiththecarringtons.com.
You're not high-end price tickets. Your price reasonable, right?
They don't know.
JJ, you handle that.
Yeah, I mean, our venue we only have 90 seats at the Hotel Roosevelt. So the opening price, I think, is around $100, but it's a small room. It's not
right.
And I think it's the same at the Marriott, correct, guys? Yeah.
Okay.
You guys, it is so worth it. You're gonna love the show. You're gonna enjoy it. Follow John James _JJ on Instagram and the Jack Coleman.
What we're not saying about the show is they do a Q&A.
Oh yeah, you guys, they do a Q&A at the end.
Afterwards, you can have a picture taken with them. So for $100, you get a Q&A, you get a picture, and you get a wonderful show. I think it's a deal.
It's a great deal.
Thank you.
Great deal.
I think it's a good ticket.
So everybody go get it. We want to thank you guys for coming on the show. Thanks for reaching out, John.
And you're coming back.
We'll have you back anytime you have anything to promote. We loved it. You guys are great.
If you don't come back,
thank you.
I'm going to tell everybody your show shits. It stinks. I will destroy every one of your careers and
Yeah,
your
right.
show if you don't come back. You
I
listening
will
to
hunt
me?
you down.
I would love to.
You guys are coming back because you know what? I really love you three.
You guys in
You're
the,
a
in
fun,
the chat
fun
room
gang.
love you guys too. You guys, thank you so much. Best
Thank
of
you.
luck with the
Thanks
show.
for all those people in the chat
Thank you.
rooms and all those
Thank
the
you.
comments. It's great.
Bye,
to see
everybody. Thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right, you guys.
Thank
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
All right, take care, guys.
Thank you for a
Bye-bye.
good show, boys.
What a great show, you
Thank
guys.
you. Thank you for a
You
good
guys
show.
definitely want to go see it. These guys are terrific. It's a lot of fun.
I really enjoy them, and I know you're going to enjoy them also. They really are fun. It's a family show.
Absolutely. And